how to find the perfect location for your business. So it's always location, 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 but let's talk that through and break it down. So a few things. Number one, how do you use social media to start driving business towards you and even locally? Number two, the power of special promotions, rebates, frequency cards, networking, all of those kind of activities. And then let's talk about the big one. What are the best kinds of businesses in 2025 to start and why? So let's dig into all of these topics, and then you can decide what kind of business you want to start. And if it's a location specific, I can tell you, you need to get to Google. As a shortcut, a lot of your answers, you've got to get to Google. You got to place very targeted ads to get people walking into your brick and mortar. I always have this saying says, build it. I guarantee they will not come unless you do an enormous amount of promotion. So how do you do that? So first of all, your front-facing marketing has to be absolutely on track and highly competitive. You got to search above all the other local search traffic. So if you're in the supplement business, if you're in something that's really crowded, which honestly, a lot of spaces are really crowded, how do you stand above it? What's your distinctions? A lot of that, I know for me, is our social media channels. So when you open up all your social media channels, you do need to have a CRM. I want you to go to askrms.com. So that stands for Ask Rapid Marketing Systems. It's the system I've used for the majority of my career, and we can put one of those up for you. Very little startup cost, and it is a year-long system. And then you just keep paying for the technical system. It allows you to do campaigns, automation, email reminders, text reminders. You can program it out 365 days if you want, but it allows you to get a lot of traction. So in social media, the keys are regular posting. And many of you are emotional entrepreneurs. You're not strategic entrepreneurs. So what that means is that you're posting when you feel like it. So whether I feel like it or not, I'm in the studio at least 2 times a week, recording an enormous amount of content. So we have 3-5 placements per channel per day. That's per day. But I'm also super aggressive in running a multi-million-dollar enterprise. If you're just starting out, you got to do at least 3 to 5 a day on a certain kind of topic. And you don't post the same thing on all 3-5 channels. You post different posts. So you want kind of this bundle, this library, call it, of 1-minute posts that you can use throughout about the thing you're selling. So you got to create that energy around how to use social media. Like, I'll just give you an example. When I had a local pizzeria, I used text messaging, and we backfilled the database, because one of the reasons I bought it and I knew I could flip it is they had a little black book, officially one of those little black books that said, Steve and his wife and kids order pepperoni and cheese pizza every Sunday night for movie night. And then we'd start a regular text. Hey, do you want us to deliver the same pepperoni or cheese, or do you want a new order? We would start a regular just every week. People buy in a pattern. And so we would grab the pattern and we would start texting people. We'd send reminders. We'd send a new specials, Monday Night Football. You want some wings with your pizza, whatever the special was. We'd had little rebate cards. So as the more money they spent, the more discounts they could get going forward, which let's move into number 2. That is a huge part of local traffic. You've got to get the traffic to come back to your store, not to anybody else's. So when you're in a highly competitive venue market, like think coffee shops, it's not just Starbucks. I don't know how many coffee shops have the buy 10, get the 11th free. I have marijuana retail, right? So there's rebates come back to our dispensary, and you're going to get extra, percents off for being a regular member of our store. So you've got to come up with creative ways to get people back into your store on a regular basis and not wander off to somebody else's store. They're going to do that when you slip on social, when you don't put in ads, you're not searching to the top, because even visitors, they'll come here to the Lake Tahoe area and they'll search. And if your massage business or whatever you're doing isn't at the top, you're not getting any traffic. So it's a huge piece of how you organize those rebates and your networking. And as a local, you've got to join the chambers, you've got to be out, you've got to do all those things offline. And if you're offline and you've got brick and mortar and you want people to walk into your store, then you've got to have some reason to do it, and some campaigns, some giveaways. I have a woman who has a plus-size women's store in Dallas, and she collaborates with the Cancer Society, where you can bring in used bras in, for example, for the women who have had breast cancer treatments. So she uses that as a huge calling card to get people into her store, and she's winning more than others. So the way to scale a business is you got to know your numbers. Numbers don't lie, people do. So you have to know your scalable numbers. And as you grow, you need more systems and more team. And that's where I find a lot of beginning entrepreneurs who haven't cracked that 100,000, $250,000 mark. They're doing too much work themselves. Your heads down, you're typing away, you're doing all your bookkeeping, you're doing all your TurboTax, like you're trying to do everything. So when you scale, you have to remember there's usually on average about 7 departments to any kind of company. First of all, you have to market. This is all the social media we've been talking about. Get a lead. You have to sell. Right? Who's going to actually pick up the phone and sell anything over 1,000 or get them into your store, right? What kind of outreach are you going to do? And then you've got to manage your cash flow. What bills get paid when and how? Is there enough sales coming in to pay for everything? And start putting a capital account together so you can hire more team and systems. You've got to have fulfillment. Once they buy something, now you have to fulfill it. How are you getting? Are they coming to pick up? Are they actually going to start a delivery with the COVID? I mean, everyone's got a delivery option right now. Are you going to offer that as well in your fulfillment? You've got to have operation, technology, like in customer service. So you've got to have the whole thing, and you can't do it all. So once you're heading towards that 100,000, you've got to start hiring people and getting a bigger team and system. As you start putting your offers together, you've got to really pay attention to your margin. And a lot of you, again, new entrepreneurs, whatever you're buying the cost of goods for, right, plus your overhead, right, is your margin. So how much you pricing it at, what's it cost, where are you wanting your overhead? If you have sales commission, you got to build in all those costs and then what's left for you, because that's what you live on as the owner of the enterprise. And if you have any questions, go to askloral.com. Ask a question, make a request. I love helping you build a business. I love helping you work through margins, your offers, all of that. And then we can back it all into your rapid marketing system. Now you're up online. Now you have total alignment in your business and you look unified instead of a scattered mess, which I see a lot of people look like that. And a lot of brick and mortar have not caught up to your offers online. Are they going to be better than walking in your store? So you've got to determine online offers versus walk-in offers to those who actually drive to your store and walk in, and make sure that there's some price distinctions between your online and your offline when they walk in. Now, before I go to the best businesses to start in 2025, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you here 5 days a week. Click that notification button and be here. It's usually an ask of about 10 minutes a day, and I just need you to be here. I need you to learn. I want you to grab my journal. It's in the show notes. Why don't you grab 2 tickets to my Millionaire Intensive? It's always in the show notes. And start really learning, how do you be a better entrepreneur? And with all the extra money you're going to make, how do you become then an amazing wealth building alternative investor? It's a big mouthful of words. It means a lot. You're not going to park your money with a financial planner. Pray to God it's going to work out. They get fees and commissions while you overpay taxes. Totally wrong strategy. So watch, for a lot of you business owners, you're building a great business enterprise, but then you're handing all of your wealth off to a financial planner who went to school for less time than it takes somebody to cut your hair. They had to go to school longer. It's pathetic. So the best businesses to start in 2025 and why, some of the most profitable in 25 and the trends, the scalability and the market demand. Obviously, AI and automation services are just like towering the top. You see that everywhere. Health and wellness still is at a top notch, and it will always stay there with Maha now at the front line and really, really educating America on how we become the most unhealthy nation in the world. Digital marketing agencies, obviously everything I'm talking about, e-commerce, print on demand, subscription box services, real estate and short-term rentals will always be a thing and always something you want in your wealth portfolio. Any sort of coaching, education, like think about what you're doing. I just helped a woman this morning that does a lot of efficiency coaching, but she has a job. She does that for a company right now. She's like inside doing like systems efficiency. So now she's going to take that hat off and go on her own as a consultant and offer that same sort of process for small, medium-sized businesses. A little different marketing, but she can do it. I know she can. It's about getting you up online and getting people interested. I think a lot of people make the mistake, even when they pick a business, that you either, like in her situation, she could go big corporate, which is going to be a very slow sales cycle, versus the consumer. Like, how can a beginning startup entrepreneur like get up to speed quickly? Like, she could coach on that. There's all sorts of things she could do. Last thing is just overall freelancing and consulting, and it can be in any space, any industry. So you've got to have a variety of offers from free, I'd say minimum of $2,500 to $5,000. Have a range if you don't know how to build a business model, or pick one. The last gift I want to give you is the skill set analyzer. I'm going to put that in the show notes below. Take the skill set analyzer. What are you good at? What do you know how to do? And most importantly, What has someone paid you for in the past to make money? Right there is probably where I'm going to ask you to begin in your journey to be an entrepreneur. So again, be here 5 days a week. If you have any questions, always go to AskLoral.com, ask a question, make a request. We'll be back tomorrow.